Greetings, Caliac Day O'Doon from Team Riverhaven. I'm here to demonstrate item 82, which is find what your persona would have for breakfast. My persona is a ancient Celtic medicine / wise woman, and the ancient Celts would have for breakfast typically porridge, but they would also chase that down with mead or ale. Woohoo, breakfast of champions. They would also have wild mushrooms, wild garlic, nettles, berries, walnuts, hazelnuts, and apples. Well, one thing they also was a staple was the flat cake, which is made out of barley and oats, called a bannock. Now, bannocks were also created special ones for religious occasions like Beltane or the 1st of May, but they were very much a common staple amongst the Celtic people. And I'd like to then now show you the ingredients, which is such. So we have 2 cups of oat flour. So we've got rolled oats, which I have ground into a powder. We have 1 cup of barley flour. Now, reportedly, the barley flour was quite coarse, as you can see, and this led for the bannock to actually be a crumbly texture, not a smooth texture like a cake or a scone. 2 teaspoons of salt, 1 dessert spoon of flax oil. Now, we might just mention that with the flax oil, traditionally it was supposed to be what they called German flax oil, or was called false flax oil, which might have been more closer the plant to the stevia family. But for the purposes of today, I have used flax oil that I have been able to obtain in a modern shop. And 3/4 of a cup of buttermilk. Now, you need to, of course, combine the ingredients and turn out onto a floured board. Again, you've got to be careful. It's quite crumbly in texture. It doesn't, and because of course it doesn't have any yeast, it's unleavened. You have to sort of like very gently knead it into a ball. You then flatten it out into, say, something about the size of a pan. Now, there's 2 ways that they would cook it. They would cook it either on a special stone on the fire, or they would cook it in a special pan, which they would put over the fire. Now, I've actually chosen to cook it in a pan, and as it lived up to its reputation in that it was indeed crumbly, in that when I went to flip it, unfortunately, it broke up. But in so saying, the idea is that you cook it on one side for 10 to 15 minutes. Again, oil the pan, and you oil over the bread itself. So quite liberal in the oil. Cook it on one side for 10 to 15 minutes, flip it over and cook it over on the other side for 10 to 15 minutes until this sort of golden sort of brown look. And that's it. It's a very simple bread for very simple people. Now, they used to traditionally serve it with, they would use it either for soups, or they would eat it with honey. The modern version, they would also eat with butter and honey. This is actually quite often eaten in Scotland, and also Scottish traders brought this recipe over to Canada and passed it on to Indigenous people in Canada. So it is quite a popular staple, funnily enough, in Canada. So I'm going to try it. I've cut a piece open here with a bit of butter and honey, so give me a minute. Here we go. Bannock with butter and honey. Not bad. A little salty. It probably would go very well with soup, but with butter and honey, it's pretty good. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.